Hi guys, Balls96 here, but the O is a 0, and in today's video I am looking at who I think the best transfer was of your club. All of the teams across the Premier League who were the best transfers, so make sure to stick around through the rest of the video to find out who I pick. Arsenal, Alexander Zinchenko. Arsenal have obviously had an excellent season. Yes, they've dropped off at the end, but the majority of people wouldn't have even predicted they get top 4. Never mind battling for the league, and a large part of that is down to the players they've brought in. Gabriel Jesus has been fantastic up top and has been the catalyst for a lot of their goals this season. Trossard as a January signing has made an instant impact, and even Saliba coming back from loan has been like a new signing. Having said all of that though, I think the best signing out of the lot this season has been Zinchenko. They have adapted a new system which has worked wonders this season, and it wouldn't have been possible without this man. Other players may have more goals or assists, but without Zinchenko and the system that he has enabled Arsenal to play, they would never have had as good of a season. Aston Villa, Alex Moreno. Moreno only joined Villa in this summer, but he has been an instant success thus far, costing £13 million. He has slotted straight into the team and has replaced Luca Digne as first choice, which is no mean feat. Fast and contributes to both the attack and defence very nicely. He suits Unai Emery's team perfectly and has proven to be a bargain buy for Villa. Bournemouth, Marcus Senesi. Bournemouth have been tremendous this season. I, along with everyone else, expected them to go down, but fair play to Gary O'Neill and the team, they've managed to overcome it. Signings like Ouattara, Tavernier and Neto have been vital to that, but I'm going to pick Marcus Senesi as the best transfer for them this season. He has been a vital addition to the team. Yes, Bournemouth are one of the worst teams in the league for goals conceded, but I think the 9-0 loss to Liverpool and the odd game against the likes of Manchester City, where they have conceded 4, has made their record look worse than it actually is. If it wasn't for Senesi, I think they would have conceded a lot more, and perhaps they wouldn't be as high in the league as they are now if they didn't have him. Brentford, Ben Mee. This was an easy pick for me. It absolutely has to be the free transfer of Ben Mee. He is one of those classic English players who sticks around for years in the Premier League and who just gets the job done for teams around mid-table and the lower half of the league. I thought this was a very solid signing at the start of the season, and it has proven to be the case. He's just been consistent, man. Never lets the team down, leads them from the back, and has just been a massive part in Brentford finishing in the top half this season. Brighton, Pervis Estupinan. I like Julio Enciso, and given time he could prove to be the best transfer of this season, but for now I'm picking Estupinan. Brighton obviously lost Cucurella in the summer, who was a big player for them, but it is like they haven't even noticed he's left. Estupinan has just come in and filled his role with ease. To have got 60 million for Cucurella and to replace him comfortably with a £17 million signing has been a masterstroke by the Brighton team. Chelsea, Benoit Badiashile. Considering how many players Chelsea signed this summer, it is difficult to pick a best one. Some may have shown promising signs, yes, but I don't think I could convincingly argue that a single one of them has been a really good signing for this season. Obviously, a number of those signings are young, and given time together to grow and develop, they could come good and prove their price tag. With that in mind, I think the two candidates for best signing of this season are Badiashile and Enzo Fernandez, and I'm going to go with the former. Both have potential to be unreal footballers over the coming years, but I just think Badiashile has had the most positive immediate impact on the squad. He has the attributes to become a world beater and is my pick for Chelsea's best transfer this season. Crystal Palace, Cheick Doucouré. Crystal Palace didn't make a lot of signings this summer, but I have opted for their one big money signing in Doucouré. He has played a lot of games for Palace this season and has been an ever-present in the squad. Good midfielder who at the age of 22 is only going to get better. There have been other players in the team who have stood out more, but out of the new transfers, he is easily the most impressive. Everton, Amadou Onana. This was a toss-up between Onana, McNeil and Tarkowski. McNeil is Everton's top goal scorer and is second to Iwobi for most assists in the Prem this season, whilst Tarkowski was a free transfer and has definitely given Everton a stronger defence, who have so far conceded 9 goals less than they did last season. However, I have picked Onana for a few reasons. He has been one of the better performers for Everton this season and has shown potential to be an excellent player in the future. Considering he is still only 20 years of age, I think he could improve further, and I could see Everton selling him on within a few seasons for a profit, which is a massive win for a team struggling financially. Fulham, João Palhinha. Extremely easy pick, this one. Palhinha has been exceptional for Fulham this season. The guy cost them less than £20 million, and I think they could sell him tomorrow for 3 times that. Fulham have massively overperformed this season, and a large part of that is down to the partnership between Palhinha and Reed in the middle. Brilliant at breaking up the opposition attacks, he has given this side a defensive solidity which no one foreseen at the start of the season. Leeds United, Tyler Adams. Leeds United have obviously really struggled this season, and it is going down to the wire again to see whether they can stay up. They made a lot of signings in the summer, and I do think a few of them could have contributed a bit more to results. Sinisterra is second top goal scorer for the team, but he hasn't played enough for me to warrant picking him. Aronson I really like as a player. He's tidy and effective on the ball, but 1 goal and 3 assists is nowhere near enough. With that in mind, I've gone for Tyler Adams, who has just shown that he can do it in the Prem. He is the only player in the team to have over 80% pass success rate from playing at least 1,000 minutes in the league this season. He links the play well in midfield and has been behind a number of plays this season that have resulted in goals, even if he hasn't been the one directly scoring or setting them up. Leicester City, Wout Faes. Not a lot to choose from here, and it is basically just a toss-up between Faes and Suter really, so I've gone for Faes. They have both had a pretty similar start to life at Leicester, but Faes joined in the summer and has been keeping up all season compared to Suter, who only joined in January. Yes, he's made a few mistakes along the way, but he has been one of the better performers in the squad overall, and I think without him, they wouldn't have took this relegation fight to the final day. Liverpool, Darwin Núñez. I very nearly picked Cody Gakpo for this entry. Gakpo only joined in January, but he has bedded in nearly immediately, and I think has made more of a consistent impact on the Liverpool side than Núñez has, with 9 goal contributions in 20 games in the league. Having said that, it was a close call, and I've decided to go for Darwin Núñez instead. Reason being is that although he has cost more money, and although I would have preferred a bigger goal output from him overall, he has still had a pretty good first season for the team, and looking at the future, although I think both will develop into top level players, Núñez is the one out of the two who I believe is more likely to become an absolute world beater. All the raw abilities are there, and he's so exciting to watch. I trust that he will improve his consistency in front of goal, and if he does, he will become one of the best players in the league. Manchester City, Calvin Phillips. Nah, I'm only messing. It's of course Erling Haaland. I think everyone in the world other than Rory Jennings knew that this was a guaranteed winner of a signing. Haaland just keeps getting better and better every season, no matter what league he is in. This is well and truly the time of Haaland and Mbappe, and although it pains me to say it, it is a pleasure watching Haaland play every week in the Premier League. It is also incredibly frustrating as no one seems to be able to stop him. Golden Boot winner, he is the best signing across the Premier League. Never mind just for Manchester City. Manchester United, Casemiro. I could have very easily picked Lisandro Martinez, who has proven his doubters wrong and has been one of United's best players this season, and he definitely does have the age advantage over Casemiro. However, I have gone for Casemiro based on the impact that he has had on the whole team and how much better they play with him in the squad. It was well advertised a few weeks ago that Manchester United's win record with Casemiro in the team was 75%, whilst it was only 42% without him. He has been vital to their success this season, and if it wasn't for his red cards, they probably would have already guaranteed Champions League qualification for next season. Newcastle United, Sven Botman. Newcastle have been superb this season, particularly defensively, which is massively down to Botman and Nick Pope in goal. I did consider picking Pope for this entry, but I just think for what Botman has brought to that back line, still only at 22 years of age, that he has been the best signing. I had him in my team this season, and it is with reason. He has been solid, dependable, and a leader at the back. He will only go on to improve, and his price tag will continue to rise. Nottingham Forest, Morgan Gibbs-White. I had the choice of the whole team basically with this entry, but I still think this was a relatively easy choice. There have been a number of signings at Forest who have been a success at the club, but I just think Gibbs-White stands out. I thought he was too expensive at the time, but he has proven to be quite the bargain now. Absolute star player for this team, box to box in it every single game, passing, defending, scoring. He can do the lot, and he has definitely been the jewel in the crown of Nottingham Forest this season. Southampton, Romeo Lavia. Don't think many players have stood out for Southampton this season, but one of those standout players has for sure been the signing of Romeo Lavia. A complete unknown to most when Southampton signed him at the start of the season, he has gone on to play in the majority of their games this season, and at only 18 years of age has shown a maturity and ability to play in the Premier League. They signed him for around 12 million, and I think they could sell him tomorrow for double that. Spurs, Christian Romero. It's funny, at the start of the season, it seemed that Spurs had the best transfer window in the league. Fast forward to May, and nearly every single one of their signings have been a disappointment. Probably the only one who has consistently performed and has without doubt improved the squad is the recent World Cup winning defender, Romero. He hasn't been out of this world, but he has been a solid performer for them, and it has improved on the previous options that Spurs had, which is a win in my book. Referencing that World Cup win again as well, and his stock will have definitely increased. West Ham United, Lucas Paqueta. I would have expected a more prolific season for Paqueta, but he has been playing in a struggling team, and to be fair, he's still been one of their better players. He has contributed 7 goals in the league this season, which narrowly puts him in at 4th as the most productive player within the squad. That's not too bad for a new player in a team who have only managed 41 goals all season. He hasn't been a disappointment, and I think he has shown that with more time and hopefully with better fortunes within the team next year, could push on and become a star player at this club. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Matheus Nunes. This is very similar to the last entry, a Spanish-speaking midfielder signed for 45 million euros who a lot was expected of, but who hasn't been as prolific as had been hoped within a team who have surprisingly struggled this season. Nunes, although he hasn't been incredible, has been pretty good, and he does stand out above the other transfers that Wolves made this season. He hasn't scored or assisted anywhere near enough, but he has been an important member of the team and has shown a real quality. Again, give him more time, and if the team's form improves next season, I think he could really press on and become a star player at this club. So there we have it, guys. That is who I think was your best transfer of the season. If you agreed or disagreed, let me know down in the comments, and please do remember to like and subscribe, and check me out across some of my other socials. I am on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube where you're watching this video, and Twitch, which is where I do all of my streaming, all under the same handle, Bolts96, but the O is a 0. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next video.